So when we get back to the topic, what is love? I feel at the essence, love is when we honor self, when we have self-love, self-awareness, self-esteem. All of that comes from alignment, from the alignment of self. When I truly love myself, I don't have to worry about doing stupid things. I don't have to worry about if I'm going to be good enough. I don't have to worry about if I'm going to do some dumb, destructive energy that's going to keep me in shadow and enslave me. Because interestingly enough, when I'm in self-love alignment, I would do none of that because I love myself so much. But when we're in the shadow side and we are pretending to be in alignment, like we're pretending to be so confident, but we're really not feeling it internally, we will often do very self-sabotaging choices that will continue to enslave us. And so a big part of how do we get the love we want, we need to be that for ourselves. We need to, the simplest thing, meditate every day. I'm not joking about how important that is. I probably talked about meditation on almost every single show we've done for a year because it's that important. And it isn't some fancy chanting, wearing some kind of outfit and, rolling little mandala beads. If you like that, go for it. The ritual of things, sure, add them. But if it isn't your thing, meditation is just stillness. If you're a fisherman and you're sitting on that, shore, or you're sitting on the boat casting your line and you're just sitting there relaxing, watching the water, and you're clearing your thoughts, you're at peace, you're at ease, meditation. If you're a painter and you're enjoying painting and you're just in your painting and you're quieting the mind chatter, you're just receiving from spirit, you're kind of processing solutions to something in your life because you're so quiet, you're in a more reflective space, meditation. I do encourage daily conscious meditation, and that's where we consciously quiet the mind chatter. Like today, I had a full day of healing. I was in healing sessions. I was in give mode, receiving from spirit, giving to clients. And at the end of it, it was beautiful, but I needed my time to go recharge. So internally, my body felt some tiredness. It felt thirsty. I had to go give it water, and then I needed to go lay down and be and recharge myself and give to myself and then listen so that I could speak on the show today. So it's a dance. It's like this fine, delicate dance of self-love is recharging. When you're in that conscious meditation space, this is where you're going to find your solutions. It's where you're going to find your answers. It's where you're going to find the guidance, the inner knowing, the healing. It's where you're going to visualize creating something that's not here yet, where you really will start to manifest your desires because you're consciously tuning in to the alignment of having them instead of unconsciously, like subconsciously going through the day in worry mode, in fear mode, which is creating that. So it's really, think of meditation as a magical wand. And when you grasp it and you start to step into meditation daily, you have your power back. That wand is a tool to help you remember your power. Your power is always there, but many of us, when we're not tuning in and we're not quieting the mind, we feel like we're disconnected from our power. We feel like we've given it all away. So I look at meditation as taking that wand and claiming the power back and realizing we still have that magic, we still have that alignment, and we just need to access it. So I want you guys to kind of think about where you're tripping up in your life. If you have some kind of addiction with relationships, if you have addiction with perfectionism, if you have addiction with you need approval from everyone all the time, if you have an addiction of your body image, you're really struggling to accept yourself and really love your body, whatever those things are, I encourage you to start really looking at them and honoring them and to tune in with the intention to heal that and with the intention to bring that out of the shadow into the light so that it can be healed, it can be transmuted, and it can be shifted. So you're not going to necessarily be able to just push it away, but you can bring it in and you can really embrace it and tune into it, and you can clear it. You can learn from it, and because of what you learned, you can rise out of it. So actual love is very patient with ourselves. It's self-love. It's self-acceptance. When we have that kind of love, that is the most important relationship any of you will ever have in your lives, is the one that you have with yourself. The way you see yourself, the way you show honor to yourself, the way that you trust your inner knowing, the way that you stand in your power for what you really believe in. These are things that are going to create more and more self-esteem, and it's going to create and generate more and more self-confidence. The more confident a soul is, the more power they have. So if you're not really loving yourself and your self-esteem is really crappy, it's going to be pretty difficult for you to pull off fulfilling your soul mission, because your soul mission must have your power and must have your alignment to be able to pull it off. So if we're chasing after relationship, wanting some girl to want us and need us, wanting a guy to want us, want and need us, wanting that attention, that approval, it is honestly a distraction. It is a distraction from your actual work. It's a distraction from your actual highest alignment, which if you just could say no for a little while and be very peaceful and be gentle and go into meditation and figure out where it is that you lost that relationship with yourself. And like I said, I honor the fact that many of you have been trained and conditioned to live this way. You have been trained for a lifetime to be domesticated, to go against yourself, to ignore your knowing. And this is why so many of you are suffering. It's why so many of the children nowadays are numb and on drugs and checking out, and they have so many addiction problems, because they came in here not wired for that, and they're kind of rebellious about it. But we need to help them by shifting ourselves into alignment. So if you're a parent and you have children that are rebelling and acting out, check in on what are they mirroring to you? What are they reflecting back? Some of these children will go through very extreme measures to wake up their families. And so if we stop being in victim and martyr consciousness, and we come into a powerful alignment and start healing ourselves and claiming our own power back, how have I helped create this? That's a great question for everyone in your day. If you're looking out of the eyes of, okay, I honor the fact that I have created this situation. What part of me has created this, and what is it that I really want to create? So if something's really chaotic and stressful and not very fun, you want to claim that power back and realize at some level you created it. So now what are you going to do about that? And that is love. That is you loving yourself. Sometimes love, again, when we get back to no attachment to role and title, is where we have to learn to say goodbye. We have to let go. Now, this could be you have a girlfriend. She cheats on you all the time. You keep forgiving her because you really have an addiction to her, but you call it love, and you're desperate for her, and you'll do really stupid things to yourself. You'll hurt yourself. You'll give all your money away. You totally let every important priority fall away so that you can save this relationship. And this person repeatedly cheats on you, lies to you. So you see where I'm going here? That kind of a situation, you are never going to be satisfied. Even if you get her and you get to keep her and then call her your wife one day, you're still going to suffer, because deep down, the reason that you're going through all this is to wake you up so that you'll love yourself. So if we can start to see these things, not be angry and like victims, like, oh, all these women hurt me or all these men hurt me, because I've seen that. We can get into this very dark place where then we suddenly become man haters or women haters or whatever haters that we want to choose to hate on. And in truth, the deepest energy that you're hating on is yourself. So when we get to a place where we can forgive others and we can even thank them for what they brought to our life to wake us up, we are really in a place of power. When we can see that I, as a mother, cannot change the destiny of my child. I, as a mother, can answer the calling, and I can act as a guide to my child. I can guide them and assist them. But if that child insists on getting their hands burned on the stove, and I keep nudging them, please don't touch the stove. That stove's really going to burn, but they need to touch it. This is love, is to honestly honor and allow them on their journey to find their way. Now, we can give the guidance, but if we try to control and get this death grip on our children, this causes them great suffering. And a lot of times the parent that's doing the death grip energy with their child, it's because they feel completely out of control in some part of their life. So we need to start really getting into this place of alignment of, where is it that I'm not really in alignment? Where is it that I feel out of control? Let me be honest about that. Let me heal that. And as a parent comes into their alignment, their children are watching that. Your children are watching when you're out of alignment, and you're teaching them. They're learning. When you come into a place of alignment, they may be uncomfortable at first with it because they're not used to it, but you're teaching them and they are learning. So each of us, if we stop procrastinating today and we stop making anybody else's healing more important than our own, imagine the world tomorrow. I'm telling you, if every single soul starts to choose the self-love that they deserve, they start to do their work. I know it for myself because I've lived it and I've seen the profound effects. I have healing clients I work with every day that I've watched them move through energies and do their work, and I see profound shifts in these people because they are courageous and they are not afraid to face their stuff. I see the potential on this planet for such an awakening and such a shift, such an empowerment of truly living on a planet with beings who love themselves. Can you imagine such a place? And I tell you, it's not this hard thing. It's not something that's going to be tricky or hard or take years. It could happen today. Every one of you listening today, if you did the efforts to clear your own stuff and to heal yourself, that is the most important work you have to do on the planet. You are pulling your own energy out of the participation of the insanity of the collective consciousness. Each of you that starts to pull away from that insanity and find alignment with source, find alignment with your source. I don't need to label what that is for you. It's just about you being in alignment. You are in authentic mode of alignment. You love self. You're authentic. You are honoring and trusting and flowing in your life's movie in a way that feels empowering to you. Every one of you that chooses to do that are doing an amazing participation in the bigger shifts of the planet. So when we're in like savior mode, we've been taught this is another thing that's a misconception of love is, oh, love is, if I'm in religion, if I was a nun or I was a priest, love is you go and you just give to the suffering of the poor people, the children. You give it all away. You live very poorly. You're maybe even not very healthy, but it's okay because you just give. It's just compassion. We give it all away. This is also not truth. This is not love in its highest form either. And I love so many of the beings that I've watched and observed their story on the planet. Like, I think of Mother Teresa as one right away. A beautiful soul that really did care about others. But did I observe her also being a martyr? Did I observe her also giving it all away to the point where she almost died several times from sickness and being so weak? Is that really empowered love? Do you think if we could get into the soul of her, could we find there was woundedness there? Could we find that there was some, I'm not good enough, and how much more do I have to do on this planet to be good enough for God? See where I'm going with it? It's amazing how a soul can be driven by it. And yes, we can even do amazing things with it. But if we still don't love ourselves at the end of the day, we still feel like we're empty. We still feel like we're not good enough. And we're still missing the mark. So if each of you can get that, and whatever way in your world is enslaving you, whether it be a religious dogma, you're in martyrdom, you're in the martyr consciousness, the victim consciousness, or maybe it's you're in the gangster life. Ooh, I got to get all the like chicks and got to get my hose and get my bling and my big old car and go out and impress the chicks. Whatever it is, there's this glamorous part of enslavement, and it's like the power. I've got power. I've got control. And really, if you get in there at the end of the day, I think of like Don Corleone of Godfather. I see him on that bed at the end of the movie, and he's feeling very weak. He's feeling very broken. He's realizing no matter what game I played, at the end of it, I still feel like I'm losing it all. And so this is what we're all here to learn in our own way. You feeding that ego side is not serving your highest mission and is not going to bring you peace. So whether it's victim, martyrdom, enslaving, Godfather energy, the gangster mentality, or it's some kind of like sneaky, manipulative energy that kind of goes between teams. Whatever these things are that you're playing, they're not serving you. And in truth, true love is when you come back to alignment with self. Self-love, living authentically, living courageously, even when it seems no one is standing at your side because you believe so strongly in this mission. You know what you're talking about. You know what love is. You know you will not tolerate dishonor another day. Maybe your life gets taken for it. You know what? Big picture, our souls are infinite. Our souls keep going. And if we stop making our choices out of fear, and we start today to really make our choices from love, self-love, and what is our highest mission? Like, what do we stand for? we will realize we are more powerful than we could even comprehend.